Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Wise Decision Maker Show, where we help you make the wisest and most profitable decisions. My name is Dr. Gleb Tsipursky. I'm the CEO of Disaster Avoidance Experts, the future of work consultancy that sponsors the Wise Decision Maker Show. And today with me is Vahagn. Can you please introduce yourself and what you do?
Hi, Dr. Gleb. Thanks for having me today. I'm Vahagn, and I'm founder and CEO at WebWork Time Tracker. And I have been interested and involved in remote work practices well before recent rise of it, winding back to 2005 before creating WebWork Time Tracker. My company was specialized in providing software development services for US, EU, and Australian market. And back then we were a team which was remote for our customers and their teams, and we had remote employees ourselves. And everything about our company was around time. We were literally selling our time, if we can say it like that. And starting from financial metrics and other metrics, it were all about time, and we had two kind of challenges, which led to creation of WebWork. One was just about measuring time, which could help us to analyze it and make sure we get maximum for it, but also organize our timesheet and invoicing for our hourly work. And the second one is the remote work challenges, which now a lot of companies are facing, starting from how to organize work, ending from communication. And this made us to create WebWork Time Tracker, and I have invested in WebWork development, and until now WebWork is remaining self-invested, and now it's became a sustainable business which helps thousands of customers around the world to overcome their challenges. To speak more about WebWork itself, it's about time. So WebWork is time tracking and workflow management software. We give remote, hybrid, and on-site companies possibilities to have all their metrics, providing them comprehensive dashboards, reports to improve their productivity by data-driven decisions. Additionally, we are giving them all-in-one tool to organize their workflows and communication. So this is our journey, starting from simply measuring time, the most important and valuable resource in the business, and coming to the point where we say work, track, communicate in one place. And to finish introducing me and WebWork, I want to mention one thing which is very important for me. It's what makes us unique, and we feel proud about it, that we are centered in both organization and employee. So we are focused to firstly provide deep insight and data to employees, because it is aligned with our vision that nowadays employees have to be more autonomous, have more information about the business metrics and all the information, and they need to work independently and not traditional ways that they are managed. And this is about being centered to them and providing data to them, which comes to also solving work-life balance issues for them. Because in current reality, work and life are so mixed that you can't find boundaries. And our tool is detecting burnout risks caused by too much overtime work or continuous work on high activity levels by employees, or too much communication and meetings, which leads to burnout. And we remind them to take breaks sometimes, and we give metrics to them and organizations to make data-driven decisions to solve this.
Okay. Now, I'm sure some employees have concerns about the feeling of being surveilled in this context. How do you address these concerns when they're brought up?
Yes, thanks for that question, and thanks for bringing that up, because it's common it's one thing, surveillance software or measurement software are very different. What is our vision and why we don't have that kind of problems? There are two reasons. First is the understanding of creating a remote environment which relies not on traditional management ways, but relies on metrics. And when we speak about metrics, we need to calculate that metrics. And these are metrics which can be calculated without doing any kind of surveillance at all. If you track how many tasks are assigned and which percent is being closed, or how much average time is used to complete tasks, or we can go into other examples as well. But now I want to mention that measurement and metrics and driving remote companies based on metrics and data decisions does not require companies to have surveillance software at all. And this is our vision, and we see our software as a tool which can help them to measure and firstly employ. Because when we change the mindset and understanding that employees are the ones who benefit from this data by the first users of, it's changed the mindset. We are even, as our system, as a second thing, as I mentioned, our system is very configurable. And currently we see a good opportunity, and we see a lot of reasons that employees can configure in a way that some insight can be visible only for them. And think about it on me as well. When I work, I need to understand and have insight on if I don't have insight, how I am going to improve it. If you measure it, you will improve it. And not about giving this insight to someone else, starting from me. And when employees think this way, this changes a lot. And yes, I agree more than, I can't be more than agree that surveillance software is something different. And are they needed or not? Not sure. I don't think they are, because all this conversation is about that. It's about being independent employees, autonomy, understanding companies' goals, and trying to find the right metrics, and not vanity metrics, but the right metrics to lead your work towards companies' goals.
And let's think about the right metrics. So you're talking right now, when we're measuring time, we're measuring metrics of inputs. So what are you thinking in terms of the difference between metrics of inputs versus outputs? How do you think about those two kinds of metrics differently when evaluating the performance of remote employees?
Yes, great question. And I can start speaking about it, starting from example. So it will be more easy to think about it. Let's imagine a case where we have software developers, and we can find a lot of metrics for measuring their productivity and measuring their input and output as well. The first thing which I want to say is common mistake to concentrate on one metric, because one metric, there is no metric which will magically solve issues and you will start counting productivity. And as an example, let's think about lines of code developed by software developers and approved by their team leaders, or something like that. Just one metric, and we have two developers, one have 100 lines of code, second have 200 left. It leads us to a misleading judgment that 200 lines of code could be better. Why? It is checked code, it is accepted by the team leader, and it's good. Now we bring the second metric, and the second metric shows that writing 200 lines of code took 9 hours that day from the developer, and the second developer who written 100 lines spent 2 hours. Pictures changed. It's changed because we have two metrics. and we see even over time what there. Now we bring the third metric, and the third metric is after writing code, there were 5 bugs reported by QA teams, and it is inside the platform. It is we are able to measure it, and if there are 5 bugs, it leads to additional works to solve them, which means 200 lines of code cost 5 additional bugs, but 100 lines of code cost 0 bugs. 3 metrics, different picture, and we can put the fourth metric. There were tasks assigned to this developer before writing code, and by writing 100 lines of code, one developer solved 1 task, which was marked as not so important, but 200 lines of code solved 5 different tasks, which were very important for the company. This changed back the picture to another direction. And this is all about our platform and the vision. We help to give this metric. We don't solve everything like teaching how to measure productivity of input, of output. We concentrating to build a lot of tools for our customers so they can use on their cases to have the right picture there. And when we speak about output, there is one thing which I will be very happy to speak about, but it's in development. It's about subjective metrics. Let me say like this: I completed 5 tasks. These tasks can be rated by other people in the company or team leaders as how they can were implemented, yes, which is subjective metric, but this kind of metrics can exist as well. When we start to search for correlation between this kind of metrics and the input metrics, we start to find interesting patterns which companies can again use for data-driven decisions.
Now, when the employer and the employee, when they're thinking about figuring out how to measure the performance of the employee, what is the best approach? To what extent should the employee be involved? To what extent should the manager determine everything? What is the best approach for figuring out the metrics and setting the metrics, whether it's the 5 minute, whatever the metrics that you want to use, both quantitative but also qualitative? How should the employer think about setting up the metrics for each employee?
Well, I think that must be a continuous operation, but start needs to think about on strategic level and start to understand what we are doing. So to answer your question, my way of thinking is from up to down way, to first coming back to roots and understanding what we are doing here as a company. What is our goal, and then what our current activities are going to bring to the company to reach these goals. And this brings down the metrics into smaller and smaller ones. And we can think about general output metrics, about like if we decided to, if there is a marketing team and there is a goal of company which this team must achieve, they start to put smaller goals on themselves, and then on this start to understand what can be done to reach these goals, and this becomes metric as well. But this will be initial framework of understanding what we are going to do and how we are going to measure. What I think and what our platform is going to give is to continue calculating even the metrics which you initially were not marking as directly correlating with this company's goal or smaller goals. What it will give in the, as I said, it's continuous project process. There are when we speak about metrics as an example and generally, there are a lot of things which can mislead you, and there are a lot of things which can be counterintuitive. And sometimes input metric which measures work inputs can counterintuitively be correlated with the metrics by which we understand the team is doing a great job for the company. And then this we can reflect about it. Companies which use agile methodologies and Scrum approach, they do retrospective meeting. These kind of meetings are a very good place to think back about what was our achievement during the sprint and how the metrics which we measure are aligning with this. And then in each next iteration, they can continue improving. This is how I see it, and this is how our platform can help to this process.
Okay, that's been very helpful. Now, as we finish up, what are your thoughts about the future of metric measurement and productivity measurement in the future of work? What do you think will happen? What do you see in the next several years, maybe with the role of AI, other sorts of tools? What do you think will happen going forward?
Yes, thanks for the question, and thanks for stating it exactly like that, because I really believe that how much important these metrics, not only now, but in future, because future work, we see a lot of transitions in work, and it's more than just remote, hybrid, and on-site transitions. It's about changing, adapting new mindset about how work should be, and completely different ways that company operate. I would mention about in future how much async processes can be important for companies. About measurement and AI, yes, I see a lot of potential in bringing AI into our measurement, because like I said, it's never going to be about just one metric. It's going to be a hard process to find which metric impacts more productive outcomes. And the role of AI can be continuously analyzing this data and finding and taking inputs from employees, taking input for business leaders and managers, and also taking input from all the data which was measured, and try to bring this up to the users in the way that it can lead to right data-driven decision. And here I see the most use of AI. But other than that, if we go a little bit out from measurement and speak about other tools which companies need, because as I said, we are only in one tool, and we provide different features which are essential for organizing remote work. We see AI in more features, and even right now we have AI in terms of natural language processing and natural language understanding in our messenger feature, which has a bot which does very interesting and fun things, starting from congratulating birthday is organizing stand-up. This is use of AI in a different way in terms of natural understanding and process. But yes, to sum it up, I see a lot of potential in bringing AI to solve the challenges which remote and hybrid companies are facing.
Excellent. This was very helpful, Vahagn. Thank you very much for sharing your expertise.
Thank you, Dr. Gleb, for having me today, and thank you for all the work which you are doing.
Thank you, and thank you to the audience for checking out another episode of the Wise Decision Maker Show. Please make sure to subscribe wherever you checked out the show and leave a review. It helps others discover the show and helps us improve the show. All right, everyone. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of the Wise Decision Maker Show. And in the meantime, the wisest and most profitable decisions to you, my friends.